safety brief.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Southern Academy for the Performing Arts. We are making every effort to make your theatre experience safe and comfortable. Please take this time to listen to the following announcements. In the event of an emergency, an announcement will be made. You will proceed immediately but calmly to the exit closest to you. At that point, the ushers will direct you to the muster point, which is located at the eastern car park. In keeping with the guidelines established by the Ministry of Health, masks must be worn at all times for the duration of the event. Eating, drinking, chewing of gum or candy is not allowed in the auditorium. Smoking is not allowed in the building. Photography and other unauthorized video recording is strictly prohibited. At this time, please switch off all cell phones and electronic devices. Thank you, and do enjoy the following presentation.
The Honorable Dr. Nayan Godspeed Dolly, Minister of Education, Dr. Joseph Ishmael Khan, Director at National Energy Corporation of Trinidad and Tobago, Mr. Mark Luquan, President of the National Gas Company of Trinidad and Tobago, Dr. Vernon Paltu, President of National Energy Corporation of Trinidad and Tobago, Mr. Sheldon Sylvester, Acting President of NGC CNG Company Limited, Mr. Feshu Kroma, Co-founder of Pennacool Caribbean Limited, other distinguished guests, finalists of the Renewable Minds Poetry Spoken Word Competition, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant good morning to you, and welcome to National Energy and Pennacool's Renewable Minds Poetry Spoken Word Creative Showcase. Now this showcase is the culmination of weeks of National Energy and Pennacool engaging our primary school students nationwide to bring out the best not only in their knowledge of renewable energy, but also their talent and creativity in expressing this knowledge in the form of poetry and spoken word. My name is Keegan Barrett, and I will be your host for this morning's proceedings. Now, as we get ourselves ready to enjoy the presentations that our students have worked so hard on, we first begin with some welcome remarks from Dr. Vernon Paltu, the President of National Energy. So please put your hands together and welcome to our podium, Dr. Vernon Paltu. Energy is an emerging leader in renewable energy, and when it comes to engaging our students and providing avenues for online learning, Pennacool Caribbean Limited is definitely at the forefront. So now, on behalf of Pennacool Caribbean Limited, we'll now have some remarks from the co-founder of Pennacool Caribbean Limited. Please put your hands together for Mr. Feshu Kroma.
Good morning, everyone. The Honorable Dr. Nayan Godspeed Dolly, Minister of Education, Dr. Joseph Ishmael Khan, Director at National Energy Corporation of Trinidad and Tobago, Mr. Mark Luquan, President of the National Gas Company of Trinidad and Tobago, Dr. Vernon Paltu, President of National Energy Corporation of Trinidad and Tobago Limited, Mr. Sheldon Sylvester, Acting President of NGC CNG Company Limited, other distinguished guests, finalists of the Renewable Minds Poetry Spoken Word Competition, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. I am very happy to be at SAPA with you all this morning. Pennacool started 12 years ago over a cup of coffee, and at that time, my son was about to write the essay exam. And like every other parent, I wanted him to pass for his first choice. And in fact, I wanted them to pass for my first choice, pre-college. And I became worried, as every parent does. When I was carrying him to lessons, he had lessons, you all know the drill. He had lessons after school, he had lessons on the weekends. And I became worried because I was not getting the results, so I did not know, I was not aware at any point in time of where he really was, what he needed to be picked up in, what he needed to focus on. And I decided to apply my knowledge of ICT to do something, to create something on the computer, because let's say he would more readily be on the Xbox than on like reading a book. So I said, okay, I'll put something on the computer. And so Pennacool began, yeah? And I did a reasonably good job, so much so that I decided to show my business partner what I created. And we decided, look, this thing is something really everybody could use. And we would have gone to teachers. We started with St. Bernadette's there in St. Anne's, and got all of their materials. We're talking about people who have been teaching for like 25 years, and we got like yellowing pages of notes and exercises and so. And we digitized that, and so we created Pennacool. Actually, we started with the name mylessonsclass.com, but we decided that no child would want to come home and be excited to go on the computer on mylessonsclass.com. So in brainstorming a name, we thought of Pennacool. It just came out of the blue, and we said, hey, what about Pennacool? Because everybody loves Pennacools, From a grandmother loves a Pennacool to a baby loves a Pennacool. Everybody loves a Pennacool, and maybe we can deliver math and English via pennacool.com. And so it began, yeah? We, from the very start, wanted Pennacool to be available to everybody, right? And we have been fortunate to have attracted the support of, I would call it visionary corporate sponsors, like the NEC and NGC, who would have given us the resources to get our ideas, to keep our ideas going. We created work solutions, worked examples. We kept on evolving the program as we got feedback from all the stakeholders, all the parents, the teachers, and the students. And Pennacool just kept on evolving as it is now. We would, through our corporate sponsors, we would have been able to implement reward and recognition programs that have sustained and grown the program. So many of you here would have experienced Pennacool coming into a school, and we give out certificates, we give out vouchers, we give out, we have class parties, we have whole school samplings, and we were able to keep children interested in the math and language arts topics that they needed for the SCA through these motivational gifts as a reward for all of their hard work. So when we got the opportunity to speak with the NEC about their vision to bring the topic of renewable energy, energy efficiency, energy conservation to primary school children, we certainly were happy and proud that we were chosen, because we have over the years built up the expertise to understand what our local students and teachers need. We have always been receptive. We listen, we learn, we adapt. So we have taken some of the ICT tools available there, and we have modified it to make it easy for even the least technical people among us to understand how to register, how to do quizzes, how to use the computer to do math, starting with math and English. So when we got these topics, which are not really part of the syllabus so far, we looked at it as a unique challenge because we would then now have to take these very technical topics and make them into a fun and enjoyable set of exercises that children would want to actually go on and do. And we engaged with the NEC staff, we engaged with teachers to create very, very fun games, videos, interactive videos, and quizzes that the children would score points on, and they would also be able to win wonderful prizes through, again, some of our reward and recognition partners. Yeah. So, again, going along the way now, we then heard about the desire to create a spoken word competition. And again, what a wonderful way to showcase the artistic talents of our young Trinidad and Tobago students. And again, we approached the whole concept enthusiastically, and we said, okay, let's, we made a portal, for them to be able to upload their videos and their poems and so. And I must tell you, it was wonderful receiving the submissions and to see the kind of talent that we have in Trinidad and Tobago. Very, very wonderful, and I actually look forward to seeing these live performances. A trip to Barbados, wow, what a wonderful prize, right? So I want to thank NEC and NGC and their sister companies for putting together this wonderful package of incentives for these children. And I think we can grow this idea even further, and I look forward to having discussions to get this thing even larger and to have even more participation from our students. So Pennacool.com is here to support as we ensure a sustainable and prosperous future. NEC is doing the right thing for our country and our future by engaging with these young minds, and we are all on board to move it forward and to have our young people ensure our renewable future. Yep. Thank you very much.
Faishu Kroma, co-founder of Pennacool Caribbean Limited, ladies and gentlemen. I must say I am impressed with the name. I have been known to enjoy a Pennacool from time to time myself. But more importantly than the name is the work that Pennacool has been doing. Alright, and even today, events like these are so important. You know, as the not so old adage goes, I believe the children are the future. Alright, and these events form the personalities that we'll see on this stage later on become the leaders in Trinidad and Tobago in years to come. Further underlining the importance of events such as these, today to deliver our feature address, we have Dr. the Honorable Nayan Gadsby-Dolly, Member of Parliament and Minister of Education. So please put your hands together as we welcome her. So please.
Dr. Khan, Director at National Energy Company and National Gas Company. Mr. Mark Loquan, President of the National Gas Company of Trinidad and Tobago. Dr. Vernal Palto, President of National Energy Corporation of Trinidad and Tobago. Mr. Sheldon Sylvester, Acting President of the NGC CNG Company Limited. Mr. Faisal Kroma, Co-founder of Pennacool Caribbean Limited. Other distinguished guests, our students and finalists of the Renewable Minds Poetry Spoken Word Competition, If we have teachers here, parents, members of the media, good morning. It is an honor to be here. My brief words of greeting to share. This topic is critical to us. Environmental consciousness is a must. And I see the judges and I trying for the Barbados to do something. I am very honored to be here and to have received this invitation to address you today at the Renewable Minds Poetry Spoken Word Creative Showcase. It is a fact that children around the world are making their voices heard with respect to this very critical issue. Anybody knows about Greta Thunberg? Yeah, I'm seeing some of our heads shaking. 15 years old and led a protest outside the parliament in Sweden, protesting for school students to advocate for climate change. Now, I'm not advocating that our students protest in front of the parliament, but I am saying that there are examples all around the world of students getting involved in the discussion about climate change, and the students here who would have participated in the competition. You are also a part of that global movement of students, young people who are interested in their environment. And for that, I want to give you a round of applause. I'm very pleased that this competition has been pitched at the level of primary school, because that's really where we need to get the information into our students to create the lifestyle changes that we are expecting to have. And renewable energy, energy efficiency, and expressing that through creative, artistic expression, that is that's a win-win situation. The use of the arts in education is critical, and the role of teachers in incorporating different strategies to get the message across to this generation is important. The children of today are not the children of yesterday. What we would have been accustomed to in school, the children of today need something different. They live in a different world. I can imagine, parents who are here with me, who are fall into the old category, not young, not old. When you reach in that category, tell your children that when you were going to school, there was no cell phone. Have you seen their reaction? Have you ever shown them a cassette? My son, when I showed him a cassette for the first time, he said, "What is that?" It's a device. Have you ever shown them an old rotary telephone? They don't understand the world that we grew up in. And therefore, in teaching, we have to find different ways of reaching them, the information, engaging them with that information. We have to find different ways. And use of the arts is a very important strategy. And therefore, I was particularly pleased to see such an important topic being twinned with a very trending and emerging art form, poetry, spoken word. And I think that was really a wonderful thing to see. The government of Trinidad and Tobago is serious about climate change. In Trinidad and Tobago, we have what some may call an island attitude, a kind of laissez-faire, laid-back attitude, and it serves us well in many cases. It means that we have less stress than in many countries, and I think we have been rated as one of the happiest countries. But that same laissez-faire attitude that does us well in some circumstances doesn't do us so well in others. And this issue of embracing what is required for climate change and embracing the lifestyle changes, that is something that has not been at the forefront in our society as it should be. It's been on the school curriculum for some time. I remember as a student, I did geography at A-levels, and I remember doing environmental aspects, even at the Form 5 level. As a teacher, I taught chemistry, I taught environmental as well. So we've had aspects of that in our curriculum. As a lecturer at COSTAT, I did a course on science in the environment, and I did cover topics that dealt with sustainability, reduce, recycle, renew, all of these things. However, the link between the classroom and our lifestyle practice, that is what has been lacking for some time. And so that's why it's so important to pitch our discussion at the younger ones, because they are the ones who are growing up into this world and have to, more than even we would have, they must adopt these practices. I remember going to a conference and there were some persons from the Maldives there, and their view on climate change was so much more passionate than us in the Caribbean, and it is because they are literally seeing their islands disappear. So they don't have a laissez-faire attitude at all. They have a very, very proactive and interested attitude in getting to their citizens to adopt practices that will stop climate change, because to them, I mean, they are literally seeing it happening very rapidly. And though we'll be seeing some in our countries, it is not as rapid as they. So we have to understand that we are living in a world. Our practices here affect people in different parts of the world, and their practices affect us as well. And so that's why it's so important for our children to inculcate as they grow, as they develop, practices that are sustainable. In 2018, Trinidad and Tobago joined 175 other countries and the European Union as a party to the Paris Agreement. Today, via this legally binding agreement, more than 190 countries have committed to taking urgent and deliberate steps to slow down and, where possible, stop the damaging effects of climate change. Trinidad and Tobago has committed to reducing our country's greenhouse gas emissions by 15% by 2030. 15% by 2030. This 15% will be calculated against the emissions we produced in 2030. So we have a goal, and the only way we can achieve this goal is if our industry, if our citizenry respond to the call for climate change awareness and change in our practices. Trinidad and Tobago is also a signatory to the United Nations 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. And we have aligned our National Development Strategy, Vision 2030, with those of the UN's Sustainable Development Goals. Significant modifications will be to the 2020 vision to include environmental issues such as climate change and renewable energy. Theme 1 of that Vision 2030 is putting people first, nurturing our greatest asset, and Theme 5 speaks to placing the environment at the center of social and economic development. And these were changes made to reflect our national position with respect to climate change and the practices to reduce our damaging effects of climate change. We acknowledge that our citizens are integral to this process, integral to our development, and therefore our citizens must develop a higher level of environmental consciousness, must develop it, and we must demonstrate it in our lifestyle. Initiatives such as these that's taking place today, they help in raising the consciousness, the awareness. When I was at COSTAT, in teaching that course that dealt with environmental awareness, I asked our students to collect their garbage for 2 weeks. Now, of course, that was difficult, but what it did is raise the awareness of how much garbage one person can produce. And especially when we are not adopting the principles of reduce, reuse, recycle, when we just throw away. And they were shocked and surprised at how much garbage one person could accumulate over time, and worse yet, a family. And another project was that they had to separate their waste for a week. Well, the amount of complaints I got from the students about doing that, because that's not a lifestyle practice for us. But I'm sure many of us have visited relatives away, and they've seen them doing these types of things as normal practice. So you have one bin for the people, one bin for the plastic. And in my own home, we undertook a project to collect all of the water bottles at that time that we would use. Now, I have 3 children, so it's 3 children, a husband and I. And we would buy water as a normal part, and I'm sure many people buy water. And in 1 week, the amount of bottles we collected, we were quite taken aback at how much waste, and that was just plastic bottles. So we undertook at that time to use our water bottles more. And I can tell you, it was a little bit difficult, still a little bit difficult sometimes, but these are the types of simple lifestyle changes that are necessary for us to inculcate in ourselves and our children to be able to raise the level of awareness about sustainability and our footprint, our personal footprint on the environment, as well as that of our country. And these are the things that we have to do to ensure that we are living in the way that we should. Simple steps, and we have a lot more to do, a lot further to go, but little changes can make a big difference. In 2021, a document titled Third National Communication of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change was published. And that would have followed the Prime Minister's visit to the conference that was held in that year. In this document, the government committed that appropriate educational content on climate change should be promoted at all levels of the education system. To this end, we are very happy to work with the Ministry of Energy and Energy Industries and National Energy to include renewable energy and energy efficiency in the primary school curriculum, and this is a project that we will soon implement. The Ministry of Education recognizes the important role that National Energy and the NGC Group plays in the energy transition, and we are grateful to partner with National Energy on such an important initiative. It is, I dare say, critical for our country to reach to this stage. It's not the first time that we have partnered with National Energy, and I want to thank them for their donations over the years, and they have poured into the lives of our children through their donations to the Ministry of Education. Our last donation was 1.5 million, and that allowed us to purchase laptops and devices for children throughout Trinidad and Tobago. So I really want to express my thanks to the NGC Group for their contribution in this regard. I am always amazed at the talent of our citizens, our children, and I'm proud of those who are willing to go beyond. So the parents who have contributed to their children being a part of this, the teachers, the schools, we are very grateful that you have made that effort to go beyond the syllabus to allow them to have this experience. Thank you to National Energy, NGC, PPGPL, and LABIDCO for actively supporting the government's policy through these types of initiatives with our young children. The effect of this cannot be overstated. The Ministry of Education is heavily invested in providing quality and relevant education to our children. And a sound foundation in renewable energy and energy efficiency would be an integral part of this education. To the finalists, congratulations once more. I challenge each of you to continue learning about how your actions impact our environment, and I encourage you to become climate change ambassadors. Speak to those in your classrooms. Speak to your parents even, your aunts, your uncles, family members. As little as you are, you can teach them something about energy efficiency, about renewable energy, about sustainable practices, and they'll be well placed to listen to the advice coming from the little ones. As I close, I want to share a quote with you. The greatest threat to our environment is the belief that someone else will save it. I'll repeat that. The greatest threat to our environment is the belief that someone else will save it. Let's be the ones to save our environment today.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. the Honorable Samaya Lewis, our Minister of Education, clearly emphasizing the government's position on climate change. Of course, National Energy, as a part of the NGC Group, continues to support the government in ensuring that we can achieve our energy transition as soon as possible. Today is actually a testimony, as you will see soon enough. I would have witnessed these finalists at the rehearsals, and I would have learned a thing or two. So ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for us to get into our creative showcase. Our students have been preparing, they have brought their props, they are dressed, and they are ready to entertain you. Now, I myself remember being on stages at this age, and I can tell you it is an intimidating experience. So I ask you all to make it as easy as possible for them. When it is we introduce them, please let's have a big, lusty round of applause, and let's encourage each and every one of them as they come out to perform for us. So starting things off today, we have a young lady who reminds me a little bit of myself at that age. She's not quite sure what she wants to be when she grows up, but she knows that she loves to watch television, she loves to ride a bike. Just like me. Ladies and gentlemen, from Melville Memorial Girls Anglican Primary School, please, let's put our hands together and welcome Kenya Duravenu, performing her poem, Energy Matters.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Kenya Duravenu. I am 10 years old and I attend Melville Memorial Girls Anglican School. Energy Matters by Kenya Duravenu. The ability to work, the ability to go to school, yet still we waste it. Government cut down the price, but we don't appreciate it. Natural gas we have here, but do we care? We leave on the lights. We sing long songs in the shower, and we put the clothes in the dryer. The bills coming high, the carbon gas in the air. Come on, people, what we really saving for the future is. Here what we have to do to be more energy efficient. Turn off the lights, hang out the clothes, buy the machine when the energy starts. Whatever you have to do to lower the cost and be energy efficient. But just remember, energy matters.
Come on, you can do that in the back, please. Make some noise. With Kenya Duravenu, ladies and gentlemen. And I must say that is the best timing of tears I have ever seen in my life. Energy surely does matter. Alright, please, let's have another round of applause for Kenya. So as we continue now, this young man is 9 years of age, and even at 9, earlier in his life he wanted to be a paleontologist, and now that has graduated to astrophysicist. Ladies and gentlemen, from Macaulay Government Primary School, please let's welcome Mr. Josh Gittins.
Good day. My name is Josh Gittins. I am 9 years old. I attend Pennacool Government Primary School. Today I will be reciting my poem, Energy Efficiency. We use our refrigerators, washing machines and more, which pulls electricity as needed no flow. But because it is so cheap, we don't appreciate what it truly takes to give us such rates. Our energy starts as natural gas and is produced right here in great abundance, enough that we can share. By turning it into other things like ammonia and methanol, we'll get more value and be more ethical. Less wastage means less usage, lowering our power bill and preserving the environment from pollutants that kill. It also keeps the resources for future use through sales and exports, not just personal use. So how do we do this? Do our own part through energy conservation. That is the start. It means using as little energy as needed for a task and become energy efficient, should anyone ask. So switch off unused lights, hand wash wares, hang clothes to dry, use natural sunlight and LED bulbs to buy. Energy efficient appliances are certainly good, and if an electric car can be bought, it should. Natural gas is in high demand. Let us use it the right way, and we can conserve energy for another fine day. Thank you.
Make some noise for that just ladies and gentlemen. So we are off to a fine start here this morning. That's just 2 down, 8 more to go. Alright, the next young man is very far away from cassettes and the rotary phones, as the minister would have mentioned. He actually would like to create devices like iPhones and iPads in the future, hopefully more energy efficient ones. Please, from Lahokata North Government Secondary School, put your hands together for Kimani Moses.
Hello everybody, my name is Kimani Moses, and I will be reading this poem for you, which is Renewable Energy. A future idea whose time has come. Solar energy is radiant light and heat from the sun. Edmund Becquerel, what a brilliant mind! He revealed this great fact that others couldn't find. Wind power is a popular renewable energy source. It gives us mechanical power at a much lower cost. James Blight was the man who executed the plan. He obtained cleaner energy than fossil fuels can. To create good energy from bacterial waste may be the most contradictive thing we will ever face. When oxygen is absent and the bacteria digest, biogas is the medicine to get the dirt off the environment's chest. Although it is not yet commonly used, tidal energy is the electricity that tidal rise and fall produce. Dexter Cooper, a young engineer, he worked very hard and came up with this splendid idea. All this leaves us with a question in mind. Does renewable energy equal no waste, or the opportunity to manage each case? Thank you.
Kimani Moses, ladies and gentlemen, young man dressed for the occasion, of course, and as the young people say, bars, bars. Biogas is the medicine to take the cough off the earth's chest. So now we continue with our contestants here today. Next up is a young lady who is destined to be a leader. Alright, she's headed to a new school and she's already informed me that when she gets there, she hopes to start the first volleyball team there. Alright, later on in life, she hopes to be a business owner. Ladies and gentlemen, from Success Roman Catholic Primary School, please let's put our hands together and welcome Anusia Edwards.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Anusia Edwards, and I'm from Success Roman Catholic School, and I am 13 years old. And I'm going to recite my spoken word named Energy Efficiency. Energy efficiency. Energy efficiency is a very simple goal to achieve. Don't believe me? Don't agree? My aim here is not to deceive, but rather educate, elevate, and elucidate everyone on the path to EE, energy efficiency. Using less energy through technology is a simple definition of energy efficiency. And I have an Einstein-like soundproof theory. Energy efficiency equals lower monthly cost 2, or EE equals LMC 2. Now look, listen, and learn on how to be a smart EE like me. Limit your appliances to those with an Energy Star logo, lower your dryer loads, lean on the line, lessen your hot showers, you will be fine. and lose the fluorescent bulbs for LEDs. EE is a mega deal bucket. Don't deny it. You love it. That reduces carbon dioxide and greenhouse gases. Better use our natural gas resources to preserve generation enjoyment. Better still, help lower your tea and tech bills. So take the path to energy efficiency. You will find it worth every cent. Start small just like me. Aspire to do what is right. Act wisely to achieve the benefits of EE, energy efficiency. Thank you.
Edwards, speaking of energy efficiency. And if you were like me, you would have had to Google elucidate. The meaning, folks, is to make something clearer or to explain. Alright? So next up is a young man. When I spoke to him, he said there are fun facts about him. One of these fun facts being that he knows all the countries in the world. I would like to take his word for it because when he started off, he started with Albania, Austria, and Algeria. I would have probably started with France, Spain, Italy. Alright? Ladies and gentlemen, from a Robert Village Hindu primary school, his spoken word piece, The Transition. Please, let's make some noise for Zain Rukchan.
Everyone. My name is Zain Rukchan. I am 7 years old and I attend Robert Village Hindu School. The Transition by Zain Rukchan. I am sitting here, basking in the glorious sunlight, thinking, how blessed am I to experience such beautiful weather? At the same time, I am wondering, do we really appreciate this natural, renewable resource that we are being so abundantly blessed with? I think not. Trinidad and Tobago is located above the equator and considered a tropical island where the sun shines in all its glory. But yet I hear my mom bawl out every time when opening the electricity bill. This bill is so high! Sigh. They say in sweet TNT, the electricity rates are the lowest in the Caribbean. Imagine that! Much to my mother's dismay. I keep thinking, how can we change this situation? The hot sun is good, but it is also bad for the environment since our emissions are still too high and we often pay the price for the carbon footprint of others. I keep thinking, how can we change this situation? Oh, I know! What about a transition? A transition to a resource that is renewable, a transition to a resource that is available, solar energy. It is no rocket science, it is in the works. It is part of the vision for our country. Projects have already started. National Energy has launched a solar-powered service station in Presal-Cuva, and the Brechin Castle Solar Farm has been developed and will help to power more than 30,000 households in Trinidad. Do you know what this means? This solar farm can remove 23,000 tons of carbon dioxide emissions from the environment every year. Isn't that cool? But while this is good, we must move the transition along faster to save our environment, to save our pockets, especially my mom's, lol, and to achieve our development goals. Thank you, everyone.
Little boys, please reach out the ladies and the gentlemen. And mom, wherever you are, I understand completely. I have now become my father. I get up before I go to bed. I am taking off every light in the house. I am waiting to see the electricity bill. I am checking the cents. I understand completely. Alright? So let's see how quickly we can get that energy transition going so we can ease up Zane's mom's pockets and mine as well. So next up, ladies and gentlemen, we have a young lady who has a very big heart. Apart from her love for art, gymnastics, and coding, she tells me that she enjoys spending time with her family and she wants to become a medical doctor to help persons and heal every part of their body. From Rusilac Presbyterian Primary School, please put your hands together for Miracle Carr.
Saving our earth. So I changed my ways to show my worth. Renewable energy cannot be depleted. It's used in 4 types, and our supply will never be defeated. Earth will continue to show us her greatness. Solar, hydro, wind, and biogas. My goodness, thank God for his faithful resources. At my smart home where all things are bright, solar panels line my roof, and that gives me light. Hooray for the sun's rays that power my electric things. No high TNTech bill, I'm saving. Cha-ching! Hydroelectricity proves water is no joke. With planning, provides flood control and farming support. Truly, it's not a bloke. I live on an island where water is key, and even the rainfall skis fast and adds her plea. From water to hydropower, it's a great change. This form of renewable energy will remain through every age. Not sure I want biogas close by. I already live with a flock of kubos that watch me side-eye. This naturally occurring energy source in the past heated water, lit street lamps, and the 2008 Olympic torch at last. In TNT, 5 major landfills now pass capacity, but the Joint Select Committee saying the government must act swiftly. Not just poop, but all waste biogas uses, like food and wood pellets makes biogas, which kind of amuses. The area I live is considered bush, and yet the people around me seem very stoosh. No thought of earth or the usefulness of the wind. No hope for a wind farm to help us out still. I hope the government addresses exploit and switches to renewable energy as fast as the speed of light.
Enjoy the rest of the show, ladies and gentlemen. Miracle Carr, very expressive, enthusiastic performance. I myself live somewhere that's considered a place with a lot of bush. However, we are very much not stush where I come from. Alright? Our next contestant, ladies and gentlemen, comes in a small package again, but with a very, very big personality. She has some options where her future is concerned. She says she'd like to be a scientist, and if so, either a chemist or a biologist. Or maybe she'd like to be a doctor, and in that case, a psychiatrist or psychologist. This young lady is actually homeschooled and she's very polite, and speaking to her, she makes me feel like if I might be the younger one. Please, put your hands together for Yara Ahmed.
Good day, everyone. My name is Yara Ahmed, and I cannot tell you how glad and pleased and grateful I am to be here. Thank you. I would like to recite to you my poem on renewable energy. Solar energy is good for you, and it is good for the environment too. So make a decision for you and the earth. Doing so will prove your worth. Wind energy you can get with ease. You can harness it whenever there's a breeze. If you want to do what's good, believe that you truly can, and you should. Landfills may not be all bad. Biogas is what we now know they have. You can use it to fuel your cars. Biogas is better than gasoline by far. Tidal is wet, never dry. We can use energy produced by ocean tides. It can power our businesses and homes and maybe even robotic garden gnomes. When you use renewable energy, it helps the earth improve, you see. Have an open mind to the sources around you, and you might find a new way to save the earth too. Thank you, everyone.
Ladies and gentlemen, and she just how she came out and she introduced herself. That is exactly how she speaks to you in the most casual of settings. So next up we have a young man coming to the stage, and he was very particular about what he likes to do. He said art, he said painting, but then he said very specifically he likes to paint fighter jets. And then asking him, well, why fighter jets? He informed me that he intends to someday be a pilot. From El Dorado North Hindu Primary School, please, let's make some noise for Tanveer Raghunath.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today I will be presenting my poem written by me. Renewable Energy Poem by Tanveer Raghunath. Trinidad and Tobago is a great country. Oil and gas give us a lot of money. Now we have to do things differently and consider renewable energy. Natural gas provides us all with electricity. Energy from the sun can do that and save our country. Fossil fuels will always be here to stay, but we must begin to save our planet, starting from today. National Energy is a forward-thinking company. They installed solar panels to provide the building with energy. The gas station at Presel provides power for the lights. That shows that solar panels convert energy from sunlight. Because I am a good boy, last Christmas I received a new toy. You put it to charge in the sun, and afterwards we can all have some fun. So let us please begin to think differently and use renewable energy. Oil and gas have always been part of our nature, but kids like me would like to enjoy a better and renewable future. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Tanveer Raghunath, ladies and gentlemen, and I said it at the rehearsals and I'll say it again. I feel like I was a good boy last year, and I didn't receive any toys, especially not any that could be recharged in the sun. So we continue with our creative showcase here, and now our next performer tells me that she loves to be dramatic, something that I can attest to. And this is her telling me what she wants to be when she grows up. A lawyer, it has to be. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Samaya Lewis.
respects each other and work together to make the world a better place, where we rely less on fossil fuels and more on natural resources. Imagine a world fueled only by renewable energy. Okay, maybe that's a stretch, but a girl can dream. There's so much to know about renewable energy. Renewable energy is more efficient than fossil fuels since you don't have to dig into the earth or damage it to source fuel. And did you know that solar and wind energy is naturally occurring in abundance right here in the Caribbean? Even more interesting, the jobs created by clean energy outnumbered fossil fuel jobs more than 2 to 1. But why should we even care about renewable resources? Well, they permit us to generate energy that produces no greenhouse gases and even reduces some types of air pollution. It also helps create a clean and sustainable environment for future generations to enjoy. Slow down global warming, decrease dependency on fossil fuels, and create a sustainable environment? Yes, please. Where do I sign up? I know some of you might wonder, is it really even possible to move away from fossil fuels and use more renewable energy? Well, did you know that over 90% of Norway's energy comes from renewable resources? So this shows that it is possible, and many countries are already doing it, so we can too. It's our collective responsibility to act now for the future of our planet and for generations to come. Now that's a dream which I would want to wake up from. Thank you.
Samaya Lewis, ladies and gentlemen, she has a dream, and I'm telling you, believe it or not, that is what speaking with the young lady is like all the time. She is not performing, she is being herself on stage right now. So, we've gotten through 9 out of 10 of our contestants, and how has it been so far, ladies and gentlemen? Well, like I said before, it is very intimidating being on this stage at that age. You see these little packages, but then they come out here and they surprise us all. So now you're seeing some movement behind me, and you're probably wondering why. And it is because our final contestant is actually not with us in the country right now. Alright? But being that the case, she still didn't want to miss out, and she is here to perform for you all. Her name is Kimani George. She attends Lucia's private primary school. Ladies and gentlemen, she looks like she's ready. Please, put your hands together for Kimani George.
Hello everyone, my name is Kimani George and I attend Lucia's private school. I am 9 years old and my poem is entitled Renewable Energy. Resources, resources, we use them every day whenever we cook, work, or play. Some are renewable, but some are not. We should stick to all the renewable stuff we've got. First, there is solar energy. Know how it's done? We use solar panels for the sun's power to run. Solar cells convert sunlight into electricity. It's true. So the generated power is supplied to me and you. Then there is wind energy, which obviously comes from the wind, produced by windmills when they spin. It is useful for doing several things, like creating electricity and grinding grain, are lots of value that it brings. There is also biogas, and this one's a jewel. Although it is renewable, it works like fossil fuels. Made from poultry litter and cow manure as well, and used for water heating and electricity for houses and hotels. How can we forget tidal energy, produced by the rise and fall of tides in the sea? Waves of powerful changes. Eureka! The dragon brokers is ideal. So many places to make renewable energy so real. Presa Service Station and Brechin Castle Solar Farm, very solar friendly, and Manzanilla Northeast Trade Winds, for wind energy. Biogas can be harvested and produced at will. Just rely on the beacon and forest park landfills. Hope my lesson was enlightening and really fun. You've learned about biogas, tidal wind and sun. To achieve net zero emissions for TNT, practice the renewable rule. Our minds have been filled with knowledge. Thanks to Pennacool. Thank you.
Kimani George, ladies and gentlemen, and as you would have seen, that was not pre-recorded, that was a live performance. Alright, so let's have another big round of applause for Kimani George, overcoming all obstacles to still be part of our creative showcase here today. So that was 1 through 10, and that brings us to the end of our performances. I ask you again, have you been entertained? Yes. Once again, the children are our future, so we see our future leaders on stage here with us today. So as we continue in the vein of poetry and spoken word, we give our judges some time to deliberate and get our results ready. We now have a little bit of entertainment for you all. The name 2 Cents Movement should be familiar with everyone in the room. Anytime we hear about poetry or spoken word locally, 2 Cents Movement is not far behind. So today, we have a member of the 2 Cents Movement here to perform for you. Please, let's welcome center stage, Michelle Henry.
Every single morning I wake up, Mommy does leave all the lights bright, like if it's stars in the house. You know what I'm talking about? 10 a.m. in the morning, and lights on bright, and pumping. Now that is surely something. When I come home from school, is to see my brother playing on the PlayStation all day till he finger bend. PlayStation on from Monday till the weekend. We need to save the energy. Now as a country, we have renewable energy that runs its way through our country but never runs away. Solar, biogas and wind energy never stops midway to our dismay, but this may disarrange your thinking. Dear parents, sometimes take some time and take some sunshine. Instead of using incandescent lights, buy some LEDs. Be efficiency and save the energy. Now when the Sunday lunch food around the table looking proper, and everybody around the table ready to eat food like if it's their last supper, stop. Sit and think. Wouldn't it be smarter if you place all the dishes in an Energy Star dishwasher? So, save the energy. Now it's clear that the depletion of non-renewable energy is not far away from us like light years. Gas and fossil fuels might end right here. The end could be right here. But national energy and NGC's green agenda is quite clear. As a country, We are working for more forms of renewable energy, like the proposed windmills in Manzanilla and the solar farms which give us solar power. But just because energy is affordable, that don't mean that we should waste it. If we save it, we can save much more money on our pay slips. So don't play for slips or play with it. Let's use electricity right before all finish. Thank you.
Michelle Henry, the 2 Cents Movement, ladies and gentlemen, let's use electricity right before all finish. You, but we already have our results backstage. So are you ready for prize distribution, ladies and gentlemen? Yes? So I'm going to have to call on Dr. Vernon Paltu, President of National Energy, to please join me. So ladies and gentlemen, we had 10 contestants here this morning, and we are going to start off with our first place winner. Ladies and gentlemen, from Rosilac Presbyterian Primary School, Miracle Carr is the winner of National Energy Pennacool's poetry spoken word competition here this morning. So that's a call, Miracle on stage. So we ensure that they get some pictures. Come on, let's have a big round of applause once again for Miracle Carr. For a very entertaining, enthusiastic, expressive performance here today. And Miracle seems to have brought the whole maxi down with her this morning as well. Alright? So thank you very much, Miracle. Thank you very much, Dr. So now we have our second place winner. Thank you very much, Minister. And to present our second place prize, I would like to call on Dr. Joseph Ishmael Khan. The Minister. Minister, before you leave, my apologies. My apologies. So now I would like to believe you are presenting all 3 prizes. Our second place prize, ladies and gentlemen, from Robert Village Hindu Primary School, Zain Ruchan. The young man was shivering backstage. It is very cold. The school chief could only do so much to keep him warm, but he did manage to come out and perform to the best of his ability. Zain Ruchan.
Well done, Zain.
Yet another accolade to add to the fact that he knows all the countries in the world. And now, ladies and gentlemen, in third place, a young lady who could make you feel as young as ever. Please, put your hands together for our third place winner, Yara Ahmed. So please put your hands together once again for our top 3 winners here today, ladies and gentlemen. But that does not mean that is the end of the prize giving, because all of our participants here this morning are winners. So in no particular order, we are going to be calling them out so that they can collect their prizes. So for this distribution, I would like to call on Elsa Laura Joseph, Head of Brand and Communications at Phoenix Park Gas Processors Limited. So first up, we had performing Kenya Duravener. Reminding us that energy matters. We now call on Josh Gittins. Okay, thank you very much, Elsa. And we place Elsa on stage right now with Mr. Sheldon Sylvester, Acting President of NGC CNG Company Limited. So we had Kimani Moses. Now we'd like to call on Anicia Edwards. So thank you very much, Mr. Sheldon Sylvester. And now I'd like to call on Dr. Joseph Ishmael Khan to assist me with some distribution here on stage. So now we'd like to call Tanvir Raghunana. Very tall figure to a very short one right now. Alright, so thank you very much, Dr. Khan. And now we have just one more presentation here to be made, and I'd like to call on Mr. Mark Lafon, President of National Gas Company of Trinidad and Tobago. So it seems we're going to have Dr. Khan coming back to assist with the distribution of this last one here, and it is the very expressive Miss Samaya Lewis. Thank you very much, Dr. Khan. So ladies and gentlemen, those were individual prizes for everyone who was in our showcase today, but we still have one more prize, and this prize is actually going to our class winner. So across all our schools, we had a prize in the class that would have been most represented. And the winner of our class prize comes from Vance River Roman Catholic School. They will be receiving our class prize, and they will be accompanied by their teacher, Ms. Avenel Etienne, and she will be receiving our teacher's prize. Our class prize, of course, Movie Town vouchers for the class to enjoy, and our teacher's prize, a voucher from Republic Bank Limited valued at $1,000. So we have this prize being presented by Mr. Mark Lafon, President of the National Gas Company of Trinidad and Tobago Limited. We'll let everyone get in for the picture. So ladies and gentlemen, once again, the winner of our class prize here from Vance River Roman Catholic School. Thank you very much. So folks, we have been here throughout the morning. We've been able to see our young ones perform. We've seen our prizes being distributed. We found our first, second, and third place winners. It is just about that time for us to end off this morning's proceedings. To deliver our closing remarks this morning, I'd like to call on once again Elsa Laura Joseph, Head Brand and Communications, Phoenix Park Gas Processors Limited. Please put your hands together to welcome her to our podium.
Thank you very much, Stephen. Good morning, all. It is indeed my pleasure to deliver closing remarks on behalf of the sponsor companies and express gratitude to all those who made this our first ever Renewable Minds Poetry Spoken Word Creative Showcase a reality. I am quite pleased to say that all finalists demonstrated a thorough understanding of the concepts of energy sustainability. And for that, you are all winners in your own right. I congratulate the teachers and the parents who worked tirelessly alongside our performers to ensure the poems and renditions were nothing short of remarkable. I fondly remember my days as an educator preparing my students for similar activities. I can honestly say that I look forward with much anticipation to see many more performances on this and other topics from our finalists in the not-too-distant future. I would also like to applaud National Energy and Pennacool Caribbean for taking energy sustainability directly to our nation's youth with the interactive and very engaging Renewable Minds portal. Since its launch in 2021, the Renewable Minds portal has seen over 84,000 visitors, evidence that its content is attracting the right attention. As we close the curtain on what I think we can all agree was an exceptional display of talent by these promising spoken word poets, I must confess that our work in progressing energy sustainability on the local stage does not stop here. The NGC Group, through its comprehensive green agenda undertakings, has set ambitious targets to ensure Trinidad and Tobago not only achieves but exceeds its nationally determined commitments under the Paris Agreement. As I close, I want to re-emphasize a fact that came across quite strongly in all our performances this morning. The fact that climate change is a real and present threat to humanity as we know it. I therefore implore all present to heed the words of our young poets, to do our part to curb the effects of climate change. Addressing climate change requires the efforts of the collective, not just an individual. So remember our national motto: together we aspire, together we achieve. And if I might add, together we can overcome this if we do it as a team. Thank you.
Elsa Lara Joseph, Head Brand and Communications at Phoenix Park Gas Processors Limited. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this now brings us to the end of our creative showcase here today. Before you leave, however, we'd like to invite you all to please partake in some refreshments which will be served in the concession area downstairs in our lobby. And for those of you who have not yet had a chance to, we invite you to take some photos with our interactive photo booth, which is also located downstairs in our lobby. So on behalf of National Energy and Pennacool, I would like to thank you all for being here with us this morning for our Renewable Minds Poetry Spoken Word Creative Showcase. And we do hope that in the future we'll see many more of your faces here for other events as we continue to promote renewable energy and energy efficiency in Trinidad and Tobago. My name is Keegan Barrett. It's been a pleasure being with you all. Please get home safely. Thank you.